in this video, I will show you how to install Puppet, how to write your first module, and how to run it and test it. So let's get started. Now I have logged into my Red Hat server. This is a Red Hat 7 server. Now I will install Puppet using yum install Puppet. Now Puppet is installed. Next step is to create a Puppet module. A module is nothing but just a bundle of your code. We will create a simple module for user creation. So the command is Puppet module generate and the name of the module, but the name you have to specify in a manner where you first specify the author name, so maybe the initials, followed by a dash, and then the name of your module. So I'll say create user. Here you have to mention details about your module. For example, the version, the author details, license details. You can also keep it blank wherever it is not required. So now your directory structure is created. So this is nothing but a boilerplate or empty directories and files, which is ready for you to update to create your first module. Let's see the tree structure, which will give you a better understanding. So this is your main directory, which is the name of your module. This is the manifest directory, which includes the init.pp file. So this file is basically the main file which will contain your code. Another important file is the tests init.pp. So this file basically includes the class which is present in init.pp, and you can run your Puppet tests on this test init.pp file. So once your module is created, you can test it using this file. The metadata file will basically contain all the configuration details that you just entered while creating the module. If you want, we can just take a look at that. So these were the same details that we entered while creating the module. Now we will actually start writing our module. So let's go to our directory under manifests, and let's open the init.pp file. So this is your create user class. Under this class, we will start writing our resources. So there are different types of resources that you can use. For example, a package that you want to install or a service that you want to have running on your server. So in this case, our resource type will be user because we want to create a new user. For help on writing Puppet modules, you can go to the Puppet documentation. Now in this case, let's see what our Puppet version is so that we use the right documentation. It's 3.6. I will share this link in the comment section. So I am using the 3.6 version documentation for Puppet, and under the type of references or resources, you can see a user resource. Let's click on that. So here it shows you the resource details, the description about this user, the various attributes that you can use while configuring this user. So basically, this is the syntax that we will use. So let's copy that. In the resource title, I will say user 001. That's my user. Going back to the documentation. Now name you can mention the name there, or it will automatically take the name that we have mentioned here. Next is the attribute for the next attribute that we will use is ensure. So the basic state that the object should be in. So the values that we can add is present, absent, or a particular role. So in this case, we want our user to be present. So we will say ensure present. Let's see our next attribute. Our next attribute is password. We want to assign a password to our user. So now here, let's create an encrypted password first. I log into another session here and we'll say open SSL. Okay. Open SSL pass WD. Okay, so MD5 based password algorithm. So I'll say -1 and my password. So this is the encrypted password that we have got. Let's copy that into our init.pp file. So now we have set the password. Another attribute that we can use is for home. Let's go back to the attributes. That's your attribute for the home directory. So setting your home directory for the user. Now pay attention at the note here. It says the home directory of the user. The directory must be created separately and is not currently checked for existence. So in this case, even if you specify the home directory here, it will not create it automatically. You will have to first create the home directory and then it will assign that home directory to the user. So let's first define the home directory or home attribute, and then we'll also take care about creating the home directory before we create the user. So the attribute is so this is the directory that I want for my user. Okay. Now instead of creating a directory manually, let's create it in the Puppet module itself. So before creating the user, let's go ahead and create another resource, which is file. Let's take a look at the documentation again. There is an attribute called file here. We can use that. So just like we created a resource for user, we are creating it for file. And then we'll provide the different values that we want. So ensure that it is a directory. And let's say the owner is user 001 and the group for this directory is also user 001. Let's close this. Now our class is complete. I'm going to save this file, but before that, just make a note of the name of your class. It is create user. but the name of our module is rp-createUser. So before we run the Puppet module, we'll have to rename the module name to createUser to match this class, else you will get an error. So let's save this file now and let's rename our module name to createUser. Now we are ready to test our module. To run or test your module, the command is puppet apply. Now the default location for your Puppet modules, which Puppet apply command looks for, is /etc Puppet modules. But since we have written our module in this particular lab directory, we'll have to provide the path of our module here in the command. And then the name of your module, the test directory, and the init.pp file. And then, because we are testing, we don't want to automatically or directly apply all the changes before testing to our server. So we will use the no-op command here. So this is just a dry run. It will only see and show us what changes are going to be applied when we run this module. But the changes will not be actually applied because we have provided the no-op option. Okay, so this gives you the details of what is actually going to happen. So if you look at this stage, it says that user current value is absent and should be present, but it has not done any changes because we have specified no-op. And the home directory, again, the value is absent and should be a directory, but still it hasn't created anything because we have given the no-op option. Now let's go ahead and do our Puppet apply without the no-op and let's see what happens. Now it says that it is created and the home directory is also created. Let's see if our user is created now. Yes, it is created. Let's take a look at the home directory. Yes, it is created with the same owner and group that we had provided. Now to do our final test, let's log in to this server using the new user that we have created. This is my IP, the same server on which we were creating the module. This is the new user that we created using Puppet. Let's do a SSH. The same password that we provided in the OpenSSL command. And yes, I am able to log in. And I am in the home user 001 directory. So this completes the creation of our first module. Hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care.